Hello. It's Thursday, and I thought that I would share a little time with you and kind of show you what I'm working on and hopefully give you some tips and some help if you ever want to try to do this. So I'm going to try to do this every Thursday. I'm thinking of the name maybe Needle and Thread Thursday. Has that little bit of alliteration. I don't know. What do you guys think? If you have a better name for me, I'm totally flexible and open for that. But anyway, so today I'm going to show you some free motion quilting. I get asked a lot. In fact, it's one of the most common questions that I'm asked is how I do the kind of quilting that I do without having a long arm machine. And especially since I have just my old Singer. And so I am kind of at this weird angle right now because I'm going to turn the camera here in a second so you can see the quilting and you can see up close to my sewing. But I want to show you exactly like the mechanics of how that works. I am currently working on this really fun Crossing Paths quilt. This is, I got the pattern from Missouri Star Quilt Company. So, hey to my Missouri Star girls from the forum. I know that you all are on here. So I'm working on this, and I decided to do continuous curves. And this is the first time I've done continuous curves all over an entire quilt. So it's kind of a new pattern for me, which is really fun to do new things. But it's also, I think, going to be really pretty, and it's going really quickly too. And so here's the first part of what's going on. Can you see? I know we're getting the camera shadow on here from my light, but this is going one way, and then I will turn it and I will go back the other way, and so it's going to make these pretty circles that kind of look like orange peels or like flowers. So I'm going to flip the camera over here and show you exactly what I'm doing and how I'm doing that. In a later video, I will kind of go through more about what you need for free motion quilting, and I'm going to kind of do some of that for how to quilt on a domestic machine. But today I just want to show you a little bit of the mechanics of that, because I know some people don't fully understand how that works without a long arm machine, because you don't do this. It's like drawing with the paper and not the pencil, is the analogy I often use when I try to explain it in person. So I thought it would be cool to kind of show you a little of that, and I hope that this is I've really tried to set it up so you'll get a good angle. So I'm going to turn the camera and show you and have it point down at the machine and show you what I've got going here. So I hope that that is good for you. I hope you can see that. So the analogy I say is, sorry, my head's going to be in the way for a second while I pull my chair up. Is that it's like moving the paper if this was your pencil hanging down and you draw by moving the paper instead of moving the instead of drawing with the pencil. So that's what I'm going to do. My needle is going up and down, and I have my stitch length set to 0 so that the feed dogs aren't trying to pull it straight, and I am just going to move the quilt to do the drawing. Go back and forth. Now the trick with what I do to try to keep, I don't know, things nicer is I always look at where I'm going, and I don't watch up here where the quilt and the needle are. My eyes are always going to where I'm going, my eyes are looking at where I'm going. That's what I want to say. So that my hands will guide them there. So that helps me get to the corners and try to cross those corners at the right place. Now what's cool about this design is that it is very, very forgiving. There are so many curves going on and so many little things that the mistakes and the inconsistencies, or if the curves aren't the exact same width, or if you have a little bobble, or if your bobbin runs out halfway through a curve and you've got a little spot, none of that really shows up once it's all done. So I've gotten to the end over here, And I'm actually going to continue down and go back the other way. My blocks on this are 5 across and 5 down. So I'm doing one block at a time, going in one direction, and then I will turn the quilt and I'll go back the other way. And so I'm hoping that as I travel through, so that I don't have to keep stopping and starting, that I'll get everything evened out. But this is my first time doing this on an entire quilt, so this is just kind of what I think it's going to happen. So I'm going to come over to the bottom part to get over to here. Now, since I'm on the edge and my binding is going to come over, and it's going to be about 1/4 of an inch when I sew my binding on. Hopefully it'll be right at 1/4 of an inch if I'm on my game. I'm not going to bring my little curves all the way up to the very edge. I'm going to kind of stay at about that 1/4 inch, about 1/4 of an inch away from the raw edge as I go. I always keep this little bag over here next to me. My soon-to-be 9-year-old, Evie, she is such a creative little girl. She has one of the little weaving kits, you know, the looms that I had like as a little girl, and I'm probably sure that a lot of you had them as well. And but I always just made pot holders with it, but she is amazing and really creative. And she decided to make a pouch. So she layered one on top of the other and weaved them together in the side when she took it off. And she made me this little pouch for use in here. And so I use it to keep my basting pins, my safety pins. And then I just keep this next to me while I'm quilting so I can put my pins in it. And then I have a little nail on the wall that I hang it on when I'm not using them. So I love her, and that was just a really cool thing for her to make for me. And then I get to brag on her to the whole world. Okay, so back to the quilt. All right, coming across. Now this time I'm going up and coming back down. I guess that was the way I went on that block. They kind of rotate back and forth the direction I'm going. Where I was before. Come across. Try to keep my hands really close to my needle. Sometimes I'll let it get away from me and I'll be like this and trying to quilt. But you lose your control once your hands aren't right here anymore. Oh goodness, did you see my mistake? Did anybody catch it? I got to talking about when I came up here and I didn't come back down. That's why that was weird. That's okay. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to come back across that same line that I did before. Like that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and finish this line out. I really try not to do a lot of stopping and starting where I have to cut my thread. And now I'm just going to come across here and then move on to the next one. See, I get to talking and then I forget to do stuff. Across. And then back down. Just like that. So that's how I do that. Let me try to fix this back up. The camera is awkward. And so am I, so it's okay. So anyway, that's how that works. And I do plan on doing some more videos on free motion quilting on my domestic machine. I think it's fantastic, and I do offer quilting services and things for other people, but I want you to know that you shouldn't feel like you need to have a long arm machine to be able to have the curves and the pretty flowers and the swirls and all the fun things on your quilts. You just don't, it takes practice, and yeah, I've been doing it for a little while, but the first things that I used to quilt were absolutely ridiculous. I mean, they were so funny. So you can do this, and I will continue to share with you more about how I do it and what you need for your machine if you're unaware. And as I learn designs, I will share them with you, and we'll go through the ones that I use the most. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will be back on Tuesday for Pro Tip Tuesday, and then again next Thursday. And let me know what you think about the name, Needle and Thread Thursday, or I don't know, something that starts with a TH. Anyway, have a fantastic day, and I'll see you later. Bye.